Hello and welcome to the show. I am Joe Topat. The Muppets are great and so is Christmas. Put them together and you're bound to get something great. There have been many Muppet Christmas specials made over the years. So I decided to list 10 that are worth watching. So without further ado, let's begin. Number 10. Refrigerator Day from Dinosaurs. The Sinclair family are getting ready to celebrate Refrigerator Day. What is Refrigerator Day? It's the day when the dinosaurs celebrate the greatest invention ever, the refrigerator. It's basically a stand-in for Christmas, as they do everything we do for Christmas, except it's for Refrigerator Day. Earl doesn't get his Refrigerator Day bonus, and his fridge gets repossessed. This sends Earl into a deep depression. At one point, he talks about hanging himself. Could you imagine them trying to do that today? Fran decides to return the gifts he bought to the store, thus introducing the idea of a return policy. Although she doesn't get enough money to buy back their fridge, Earl does get into the holiday spirit as they reenact their pageant. Refrigerator Day may not be the best Christmas special. It's still enjoyable to watch. Number 9. The Muppets Christmas Carol. I've already talked about this movie in my 12 Days of Christmas Carol series, but it's worth mentioning again. It's always been one of my favorite versions of A Christmas Carol. The songs are memorable, the special effects hold up, and Michael Caine is one of the best Scrooges ever. If you're going to watch it, make sure you get the version that includes the song When Love Is Gone. I still think it's a crime that they left it out in its theatrical run. Number 8. Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. Starring Robert Downey Jr. before he played Iron Man. This overlooked special features various characters trying to get the perfect tree. Everyone seems to think that this big tree is the perfect tree. Though each time the tree is brought inside, it proves to be too tall. So they would chop off the top part of the tree where someone else would get it. The main focus is on the father mouse and his son and daughter. Each time he's about to cut down his perfect tree, he and his kids will get interrupted. I feel so bad for these mice. They just want a tree, but they keep getting caught up in everyone else's plans. What makes Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree work is seeing how much Christmas means to the characters through this tree. Whether it is Mr. Willoughby, his maid, the bears, the owls, or the mice. Luckily, everyone got their perfect tree. Number 7. The Great Santa Claus Switch. Another overlooked special. The Great Santa Claus Switch is about the evil Cosmo scam kidnapping Santa so he can impersonate him to rob the houses around the world. I have to hand it to Cosmo. It is a brilliant plan. The funniest part is how each of the elves found out that Cosmo really isn't Santa. So he would kidnap them and replace them with his Fraggles. Eventually, all the elves were replaced with Fraggles. Yes, this special is where we get the word Fraggle. It also features a character who looks like Gonzo. Art Carney does a great job at playing both Santa and Cosmo. I didn't even realize he was both of them when I first saw it. That's some great talent he had. While the Muppets aren't as advanced as later specials, they still look good. Jim Henson and Jerry Joel had spent years trying without success to sell the Great Santa Claus Switch to network executives. Ed Sullivan, who enjoyed having the Muppets on his show, decided to give him a whole episode. Sullivan even served as narrator. Because of this arrangement, the rights to the Great Santa Claus Switch are divided. This is why it has never been released to VHS or DVD. But you can watch it online. If you're a Muppet fan, you won't be disappointed. Number 6. John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. John Denver enjoyed appearing on the Muppet Show so much that he decided to work with them again on a Christmas album called John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. This would later get turned into the Christmas special of the same name. The plot involves John Denver and the Muppets trying to put together this special. Miss Piggy is upset that she is stuck playing an elf. She does successfully convince Denver to give her a bigger role as Fifi, a doll waiting for her love, a toy soldier, played by John Denver, to come home. My favorite parts in this special are when they sing 12 Days of Christmas, Kermit talking about Christmas back home, the toy soldiers, and seeing the wise men going off to see baby Jesus. I'm always impressed when the Christmas special features Jesus. Like the Great Santa Claus Switch, the rights to this special are divided. This is why it's never been released to VHS or DVD. Some Muppet fans list John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together as one of their weakest specials. I never understood why. I always thought it was good. Number 5. The Christmas Toy. This special is very similar to Toy Story. It features toys who come to life when nobody's around. There's even one toy who doesn't know she's a toy. Before you accuse the Christmas Toy of being a Toy Story ripoff, it came out in 1986, while Toy Story came out in 1995. Rugby the Tiger is the favorite toy of a girl named Jamie. This causes him to have a fat head. It is Christmas Eve. Rugby remembers that he was given to Jamie on Christmas. So he goes downstairs to get inside one of the presents. You know how in Toy Story a toy could freeze in place wherever they are when a human arrives, then come back to life once the human leaves? Well, in the Christmas toy, a toy has to be in the spot where the human last left them. For if they are caught out of place, they are frozen forever. That's pretty harsh. The Christmas toy originally featured Kermit at the beginning and the end of the special. He was edited out for the DVD due to legal issues, but you can see it unedited online. The special would later inspire a TV show called The Secret Life of Toys. Number 4. The Bells of Fraggle Rock. The Fraggles are getting ready to celebrate the Festival of the Bells. It's a celebration they hold every year when the rock gets colder. Everyone is excited, except for Gobo. He questions the reason behind the celebration. Legend has it that every year the rock grows colder. The Fraggles must ring their bells to prevent the rock from being frozen forever. There's also a great bell involved. Gobo doesn't believe there is a great bell until he sees what looks like a bell on the map, so he goes off to find it. Meanwhile, Doc and Sprocket prepare for Christmas by observing traditions from around the world. Many of us have felt like Gobo when it comes to Christmas. I always love how Gobo learns to appreciate the Festival of the Bells, similar to how some of us learn to appreciate Christmas. It's also pretty cool seeing Doc take an interest in different Christmas traditions from around the world. Number 3. Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. There are multiple stories going on in this special. The main one involves Big Bird trying to find out how Santa goes down the chimney after Oscar asks how he does it. The funniest part was when Grover asked different kids this question. The answers they give were weird. Like Santa goes down the chimney with all his reindeer. Grover's reaction is priceless. The second plot involves Cookie Monster trying to write to Santa, asking for cookies. He'd get so hungry he'd eat his pencil, typewriter, and phone. The final plot is a retelling of O. Henry's The Gift of the Magi, with Bert and Ernie. Ernie trades Rubber Ducky to Mr. Hooper for a cigar box for Bert to keep his paperclip collection in. Bert, however, trades his paperclip collection to Mr. Hooper to get Ernie a soap dish for Rubber Ducky. Now their gifts are useless. Except Mr. Hooper gave them their stuff back. This is why I prefer this over the original story. My favorite moment involved Bob wishing Mr. Hooper a happy Hanukkah and Mr. Hooper wishing Bob a Merry Christmas. It's a nice sweet little moment between friends of different religions. Out of all the Christmas specials Sesame Street made, this one is the best. Number 2. A Muppet Family Christmas. Jim Henson's biggest shows are The Muppet Show, Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, and The Muppet Babies. Did you ever want to see these characters together? Well, you can in The Muppet Family Christmas. The plot revolves around Kermit and the gang going to visit Fozzie's mom for Christmas. She had plans to go to Malibu for Christmas and was renting her house to Doc and Sprocket. Needless to say, their plans are shot. Throughout the special, more characters show up and Mrs. Bear has to find room for them. The biggest appeal of this special is seeing all these characters together. It's also its biggest flaw. You see, the rights to these shows are divided. Disney owns the Muppet characters, but they don't own Sesame Street or Fraggle Rock. A Muppet Family Christmas was released to DVD back in 2001. But it's out of print, and there doesn't seem to be a need to release a new DVD. The only problem with the DVD is that it's been edited from its original broadcast due to copyrights on songs. Still, if you can get a hold of a copy, do so. Number 1. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Emmett and his mom want to buy each other Christmas presents. Problem is, they can't afford to. One day, they learn about a talent contest with a $50 prize. This is their big opportunity. The problem is, Emmett's friends are forming a jug band, and they want him to play washtub bass. He doesn't want to do this, for he'd have to poke a hole in the washtub, and his mom depends on it to make a living. Mrs. Otter needs a costume, but the only thing she has left to hawk is her husband's old tool chest. Emmett depends on that tool chest to make a living. After reflecting how Emmett's dad took a chance on snake oil, both Emmett and his mom decide to take a risk. A lot of Christmas specials would have them win the talent contest, only they didn't. Now they have no way to make a living. What I always loved about Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is that it teaches you that no matter how well you plan or how hard you work, things don't always go the way you hoped. But that doesn't mean you won't get a happy ending. Emmett, his friends, and Mrs. Otter landed a regular job performing at Doc Bullfrog's restaurant in a way that's even better than winning the contest. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Merry Christmas, and see you later.